Feels like an eternity since I've seen the walls of Garreg Mach.
Who knew we'd leave as students and return at the head of the Imperial Army?
Lady Rhea must be so angry at us. Oh, why did I agree to come along?
We'll be lucky if angry is as far as her feelings go on the subject. I imagine she's apoplectic.
I don't know that word, but it has way too many syllables not to be scary.
The Knights of Seiros will likely fight tooth and nail to stop us.
Well, we've got teeth and we've got nails, so I don't care who we're facing. I'll brush them all aside.
Worry not. While they may have a monastery to hole up in, we possess the superior numbers. Garreg Mach is well fortified, but not impregnable.
We're gonna smash the place to rubble.
While I appreciate the enthusiasm, we need to keep it in one piece. The Empire has use for the monastery once we're done here. Understood?
Right. Sorry.
The soldiers are ready, Your Majesty. We can begin the attack at once.
The scouting is also finished. We know with certainty where the enemy will be taking its positioning. We are owing this to Monica and her perfect memory. She has incredible knowledge of this place.
As usual, Monica, your talents are invaluable.
I really didn't do much, Your Majesty. That is, it was truly an honor to assist you. Not to say I've finished helping you, of course. In fact, I am always at the ready.
Don't ever change, Monica. And finally, who do we have here?
This is my little sister Fleisch. I was given approval to make her my attendant.
Fleisch von Berglies at your service, Your Majesty. My brother and I are, in your hands.
Ah, so you're Caspar's famous aunt who's actually younger than he is.
Yes, Your Majesty. The very same.
Fleisch is too green for battle, but she'll be providing support from behind the front lines.
You can rely on me.
I realize saying this might make the situation worse, but there's no need to be so nervous. If you act to the best of your abilities, all will be well. Now then, everyone, the time has come. The time to take Garreg Mach and reclaim Fodlan.
Jumping straight into the maw of our enemies, eh? Ooh, how exciting! Is this where I should talk about my heart racing?
Huh? Since when do we talk about your feelings? That's new.
for Lady Edelgard.
Do not throw away.
I will gladly handle this. Allow me to work with you.
Begin. Our teamwork is becoming excellent.
So, what should I be doing again? Need a hand?
It's Bernie's time to shine!
Your lives, friends. Be not reckless as you attend to our defense.
A defensive position within the monastery walls? This is merely a stalling tactic. We must dispatch them at once.
Then the brute force approach it is. Garigma must fall. We'll start on the lower level. Here I go. No mistake. They must learn who they're up.
There is not a question of can, only a matter of will. Leave this to me.
Leave this one to me.
Level and work our way up, taking control of the walls. Split into groups and take those strong.
Why'd they drag me into this? Not fair.
Strongholds.
The enemy is desperate, and will most likely dispatch troops to recapture any strongholds we seize. Be on your guards for this tactic.
To think I would be serving the church and fighting my own homeland? Is this the goddess testing me?
If you don't want to fight, then surrender. I swear no harm will come to you.
That's very nice of you, but they gave me a home here. So I should probably put up at least some kind of fight.
Constance, why are you of all people cooperating with the church?
All I can say is I was unlucky enough to be nearby when the church had need of fighters. I beg your forgiveness, Your Majesty.
Help, Lady Dorothea?
I'm ready whenever you are. This is on you!
I am your man.
I sense a darkness in your power. If you harbor ill will towards them, then help us best them.
I know which them you're talking about. Well, it's not like I want revenge or anything, but sure. Sign me up.
Take a breather.
I'll take over. Come with me.
Let's make a scene!
I know what to do. Get out of my way. Is this what you want? To die here in shame? This doesn't have to be your end, Constance. Join us. Fight with the Empire.
There is not a question. My will is theirs.
Here I go. They must learn who they're up against.
Leave this one to me.
Not a problem.
As you wish, Your Majesty. I do not deserve to throw my feeble existence away in such a manner.
The right flank has broken the enemy line.
The left is through as well, Your Majesty.
Excellent job, both of you. But there is still much work to be done.
I will not sit idly by and allow Garrett Moth to be placed in further danger.
The enemy is unleashing powerful magic. We can't hold out for long.
The enemy is after the strongholds we captured. They'll be retaken if we don't defend them quickly.
Some parts of the monastery walls appear weak. An armored unit could likely smash through and provide another way in. I've prepared a means to bolster our defenses, albeit temporarily. You need only give the command when the time is right. My turn!
Now, bolster the strongholds!
Not a problem. I'm here to help.
We need to intercept those reinforcements.
Those are the Knights of Saros. We're never gonna stop them that easily.
Time to show how strong you've become.
Guard this place with your lives.
There, we've created a new path. Now we can reach the strongholds with greater ease.
They've broken through the walls? No! Send reinforcements at once!
Stand aside!
Clear a path!
There's not a question of can. Only a matter.
I care not for your reasoning. There can be no excuse for war. I must do everything in my power to stop this.
I will capture this stronghold.
Take over.
I am your man. Follow my lead.
Let's do it!
Victory will be ours! I am Ferdinand von Eyre! Retreat while you still can, Flame! I beg you!
Very well. Stay safe, my brother. That scary magic would never let up.
Fresh soldiers incoming. Don't worry, we'll handle them.
Not a problem. I've got this. Take a breather.
Ambush from above. They are having the advantage, but we can turn it around.
I think we've handled the situation.
I actually held my own. I'm so good.
I have to defend the monastery, whatever it takes.
Leave this one to me. That's my cue.
There's not
The enemy showed no sign of stopping. And if we don't keep an eye on our strongholds, we'll be sure to lose them.
Keep going. We're making progress.
I'll take over.
I am your man! Noble does not know the meaning of the word surrender.
Here I go. No mistake. All right. We have the ground surrounded. Now we just need to fight our way up to the monastery proper.
We can retreat no further. You Empire soldiers will rue the day you took up arms against Garrick Mott.
Not a problem. Take a breather.
I'll take over. Here goes.
They're going to surround her. I have to go back.
Will you join me? Can you help, Lady Dorothea? Your punishment! I'm ready whenever you are. This is on you!
My turn.
I will not ask you your reasons. Not anymore. But I will see your evil punished!
Thanks for the rescue. We owe you.
It is not a problem. We have preparedness for these things. No one is matching us!
We'll do it together! I've got you now!
Forgive me. I can fight no longer. The rest is up to you.
Very nonsense. Nor you, Flame. You both did well to hold them back this long. Now come forth, all of you. Protect Garrick Mott from those despicable rebels.
So Lady Rhea has decided... Here I go. Everyone, here I go. I'll show myself at last. Stout hearts, everyone. Victory can only be ours if we strike her down.
I'll fight for Lady Rhea until the end.
Ready the heavy weaponry. We can no longer afford the luxury of worrying about collateral damage to the town.
We'll be in serious trouble if they target Her Majesty. We have to take control of those weapons right now.
Not a problem.
I'm sorry, Lady Rhea. I can't fight anymore.
Your efforts will not be in vain, Cyril. I will send these sinners to meet the goddess.
I am your...
That's what you get for trying to target Her Majesty like a pack of cowards!
What do you stand to gain for involving yourself in this?
No one is matching us!
We'll do it together! I've got you now!
It's not a mystery. I'm a merc, and she's got the coin to pay me.
I yield you the monastery for now, Edelgard. But know this, there will be no forgiveness for your blasphemous actions this day.
No, I don't expect there will be. Take heart, everyone! Garreg Mach has fallen, and victory is ours!
Lady Rhea, are you hurt?
Ah, Catherine, you came.
Not soon enough. Garreg Mach is done for.
It is all right. For now, we must retreat. This path is unknown to the Empire. It will take us out to Aelel, the Valley of Torment. From there, we make for Fargus to seek aid.
The Empire attacked from the east, which means at least some of the Alliance's lords must have aligned with them. But those of the Kingdom are devout. We can trust them. I have already sent a messenger ahead requesting reinforcements, and, should the need arise, asylum.
In that case, I'll talk to my parents and ask for their assistance as well. Regardless, we should hurry. We can't let the Empire get ahead of us and send troops onto Kingdom soil. Now, follow me, if you would.
Thank you, Catherine. Let Edelgard have Garreg Mach for now. Let her enjoy this fleeting moment of glee. Because when we return here, Edelgard von Hresvelg will suffer a death beyond her greatest imagining.
Garreg Mach, you remain ever as resplendent as the day I left you.
The place cannot be so dear to your heart that it requires inferior poetry for an introduction.
Inferior? I will have you know that line comes from one of my favorite operas. However, I concede I may have gotten carried away, what with my head still swimming from battle.
Hey, I know exactly what you mean. Something about Garreg Mach is just special. And our victory here is gonna have a huge impact on the war, right?
Yes, this should be enough to lure some of the more indecisive nobles into our camp. I only wish I could vanquish the guilt I feel for turning on the church like this. Still, it was my decision to fight by 80's side, and I stand by it to the end.
I see. In that case, proceed as planned. Deploy the pursuit units immediately.
At once, Your Majesty.
So, Rhea and the others escaped with the help of a great white beast, did they?
Almost as if the Immaculate One that saved St. Seros has returned from the mists of legend. Although, it's a bit unnerving the way it sprung out of nowhere.
I knew we shouldn't have messed with Lady Rhea. She can be so scary. I'm just going to go back to my room and stay there until forever, okay? Okay.
Do as you like, Bernadetta, but realize your father will be arriving in Garreg Mach soon. This is the seat of the Church of Seros, and as bishop, his place is here.
Really? In that case, I think I'll just forget about the monastery and go with you.
Good. Just be aware we may be marching for the kingdom next.
The kingdom? I possess no love for the cold, but I will try to grin as I am bearing it. Point at the path to your foes, and I will be hunting them to their final breath.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Petra. Whether we capture or kill will depend on the foe. Now then, enough wasting time. We need to find Rhea, and we need her alive.
"2 years ago, I never would have imagined we'd be fighting a war like this.
You say fighting, but I think you mean instigating. Let's be fully clear about our role in all of this. Still, this is a positive turn of events for you, yes?
How do you mean?"
When a war breaks out, every mercenary in the land starts crawling out of the woodwork. And those associates you happen to be working with should be tough enough to take on you-know-who.
They're not just associates. They didn't have to trust a down-and-out mercenary like me, but they did anyway. And that makes them friends. Still, you're probably right. This will be a great chance to drive Geralt's mercenaries out into the open.
And then you can give them their just desserts or die trying.
Could have done without that last part, thanks.
Relax, relax. You know I'm on your side. Our destinies are forever intertwined.
Listen up, boy. You're not going to believe this.
Judith, do you think you could ease up on the whole boy thing? I'm your fearless leader now, remember? But sure, tell me what happened.
You might want to take a seat for this. Garreg Monastery has fallen. Not even the great knights of Seiros could stop the invaders' overwhelming numbers.
Wait, what? That's not possible. They should still be days away from the monastery. How did they manage to deliver an army of that size to the gates of Garreg so quickly? Unless... this can't be happening. Did Count Gloucester turn? And Acheron too?
I'm afraid both houses fly Imperial colors now. House Phlegethon yielded the north side of the Great Bridge of Myrddin, and Gloucester waved them right on through.
Those filthy liars! When I warned them the Empire was raising an army, they couldn't stop puffing their chests and crowing about how they'd hold the border. But it looks like the Empire had already gotten to them. This is all my fault for not keeping my ear to the ground.
I'm afraid that wouldn't have helped, fearless leader. All the dirty dealings were handled via letter.
But now I've lost the initiative, and against Edelgard no less. She can come at the Alliance with gloves off now. This is a real problem. What is it?
Sir, we have an unexpected guest. It's, Lord Holst of House Goneril.
Holst? What's the strongest man in Leicester doing at my door? Besides thinking about battering it down, I mean.
You can ask him yourself, sir. He is present.
Apologies for dropping by without warning, my lord. I just happened to be near Deirdre when word reached me about Garreg Mach.
I didn't realize you were in our neck of the woods, Holst, but please, come make yourself at home. As fate would have it, I was just pulling my hair out over the exact same problem. Can you believe that Count Gloucester? He turned on us like it was nothing. If I don't handle this situation with the Empire delicately, it will fracture the Alliance. If you have any sage advice, now would be a great time for it. Or muscle. I'll take muscle if that's what I can get.
I came here to help however I can. We must work together to keep Leicester safe, and more importantly, free.
Garreg Mach has fallen to the Empire, Your Majesty.
I did not expect it would last long. Is Lady Rhea safe?
Yes. She escaped, and is on her way here with a small force.
I see.
This won't be like granting asylum to your standard refugee. If we take the Archbishop in, it will be tantamount to declaring war on the very Empire. Is that a risk you're willing to accept, Your Majesty?
It is. We have already thoroughly discussed the matter with the Kingdom's lords. Even if I refrain from deciding publicly one way or the other, the Empire will still insist that we hand Lady Rhea over. The Kingdom's people and government are too frail to stand without the Holy Church's support. I agree with her ultimate goal, but such a situation calls for gradual reform over time. The Emperor's desire to tear it up rapidly will not do.
Then it is a good thing we've prepared for such contingencies. I will start by sending a party to ALL to welcome our new guests.
Thank you. I would go myself if I could, but I'm needed here to prepare for the war. For now, send messengers to Counts Galatea and Karen, imploring them to muster troops for our defense. Oh, and send for House Fraldarius as well. Let's make sure our new Duke earns his title.
Grave news, Your Majesty.
What is it now?
Count Rowe has declared fealty to the Empire and is marshalling his troops as we speak. Also, one of his bannermen, Lord Lenato, is moving to hunt down and slay the Archbishop.
We have long held our suspicions about House Rowe, but I never expected their actions to plunge us into war.
And after all the discussions we've had to prevent exactly this, he must believe his reason is just.
Very well then. Our plans have changed. I will go and meet with Lady Rhea personally, and House Fraldarius will serve as my guard. Inform Galatea and Karen. They are to gather their troops in Erebus and Geraint lands.
Lord Lenato was once a faithful servant to the crown. Will you now see him executed?
I have no mercy for traitors, no matter their pasts. On the contrary, I have an obligation to protect the kingdom from his kind. We've struggled long to attain this peace. I will not permit the Empire to crush it beneath their foot now.
Scarlet blaze. Skirmish in the fog. The Empire captures Garreg Mach, and when the lords of Fargus and Leicester declare their allegiances to the Central Church, they incur Edelgard's ire. She sends one army to the Alliance under the command of her war minister, Count Berglies, and leads a second herself to the kingdom's Castle Gaspar, the bastion of Northern Row.
Lady Edelgard, we have received an urgent message from Count Rowe. Apparently, he has taken up arms against the kingdom.
What is he thinking? He was supposed to join his troops with ours so we could use our combined strength to strong-arm more of their neighbors into declaring fealty for us. What use is a plan if the man won't follow it?
It also seems that Lord Lenato, one of Rowe's castled bannermen, has gone so far as to mount a one-man crusade against the Archbishop. He has long held deep enmity for Lady Rhea, and likely leapt into action at news of Garreg Mach's fall. I should have suspected he would lack self-control when it came to his vengeance. Naturally, the kingdom mobilized troops in response, and now move to strike Lenato down as we speak.
So where does this put us? Can we get reinforcements to him in time?
You want to save the man, Your Majesty? If I may. We would march all that way for what, exactly?
Imagine the consequences of leaving him to die. We need our vassals to believe the Empire will always come to their aid. Always.
Of course, Your Majesty. I will make the arrangements straight away. The region northeast of Castle Gaspar is shrouded in deep fog this time of year. That likely accounts for why they are currently only engaging in minor skirmishes. Which means we still have time to intervene.
Good. Now make our plans known to the others. I'm counting on you, Hubert.
At once, Your Majesty.
All of this makes me even more concerned about the situation in Leicester. Nothing has impeded Minister Bergley's march east, has it?
It has not. In fact, Count Gloucester has given him leave to garrison our troops there. I hear he has begun turning the screws on House Ordelia, and any other lords who have yet to make their allegiances clear. On the other hand, the Alliance's more powerful houses have united in their condemnation of Count Gloucester's actions. The Minister may soon face a battle with Houses Regan and Goneril, if not others.
I can't picture a battle the Minister wouldn't win most handily. Still, the Alliance's new leader, Claude, is an unknown quantity. We can't risk underestimating his skill.
Quite right. One can never be too cautious.
Do you have a moment? You know, I don't believe I ever asked your feelings about this war. On the surface, it must seem as though we took Fodlan's fragile piece in our hand and shattered it into 1,000 pieces.
What, is it deep conversation time now? Where'd that come from?
It's merely that we've never discussed the matter, and you are in a fairly unique position amidst this all. I thought you might be able to provide some perspective on how an outsider views the actions Adrestia has taken.
The way I see it, you just did what you had to. You talk about peace, but it's not like people weren't already getting slaughtered for dumb reasons. I mean, pick your poison. If it's not greedy bandits ransacking your town, it's tyrannical nobles raising each other's land in search of more power. So, sure, people will die in the war, but the reforms it'll bring will save at least as many innocent citizens. Maybe even more.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
It's like you said, I'm in a unique position here.
Meaning you would have answered differently were you not a mercenary.
Yeah. If I was a farmer, for example, I'd be hounding you day and night to end the war. Sure, you say you're gonna bring this bright and beautiful future, but am I really gonna suffer for years, maybe even decades, waiting for it? The stuff you're doing now, enlisting my farmhands, trampling my fields, destroying my crops, just doesn't make it worth the wait. But you know the toll it's taking on your people, yet you choose to press on with the war anyway. So you've got to have a good reason, right?
Yes, of course. You certainly don't mince words. Is it the years of mercenary work that made you this way, or have you always been like this?
Pretty sure it's who I am. It was just me and my mom growing up, you see. We lived in a village, but for whatever reason, she liked to keep to herself. So, I guess it rubbed off on me. I learned pretty quick not to get attached.
Is that so? I would be interested to hear more.
Trust me, it's not as interesting as it sounds.
Who says it has to be? Interesting or not, I'll have you tell me one of these days.
If you say so. Just promise not to freak out when you realize how boring I am, okay?
Do I seem like the type of person to freak out about such a thing? Perhaps don't answer that.
Ah, fiery as ever. What an inspiring sight.
Oh, hey, Ferdinand. Do you think so? The way I see it, a mercenary who doesn't train every day probably won't stay a merc for long.
I cannot dispute your logic. Though, I must say, you never did strike me as a typical mercenary. And your upward trajectory has proven me right. To go from nothing to a commander rivaling even the finest of nobles as quickly as you have is astounding. You are the most intriguing man.
Well, that's because I've made a habit of giving my all. I'm honestly just happy to have earned Edelgard's respect.
Your all, you say?
Something wrong?
To the contrary, I find your attitude inspirational. We are birds of a feather, you and I. Every task I undertake must also be done to utmost perfection. Polishing my armor? It shall have a mirror sheen. Cooking a meal? Let not even a single ingredient go to waste. True nobility means surmounting any challenge before you with no less than every fiber of your being.
That's taking it a little far, don't you think? Maybe you're not wasting food, but what about your time and energy? And I'm not any sort of noble, you know.
I am aghast. Are you suggesting that devoting myself fully to every endeavor is wasteful?
I mean, yeah. If you put your all into every little thing, you'll run out of stamina right when you need it most. You're like the knight in that proverb, the one who spends all day building a fence around his Pegasus, only for it to fly away.
Valuable advice for a Pegasus, perhaps, but I am no beast. I am Ferdinand von Aegir.
It doesn't matter who you are. Everyone needs to take it easy sometimes. If you always keep your bowstring taut, it's just gonna snap when you actually need to fire.
I assure you I am no bowstring either, but I take your point. However, there is no cause for concern. As I have told you on multiple occasions, I am Ferdinand von Aegir. Whether I am resting, enjoying leisurely pursuits, or simply in contemplation, I always apply all my energy to the task at hand. At work or at rest, I will forever give it my all. Ha ha ha!
Seriously? What's full-on resting even look like? Hey there, Petra. Off the train? I'll join you.
That would give me much joy. An opponent with toughness will keep me upon my toes.
You mean me? Nah, you're way tougher than I am. Also, aren't you a queen now? I didn't realize dawn to dusk training was part of the Brigid Royal Regiment.
I have not become queen yet, but there is an understanding that it will happen. And yes, in Brigid, royalty must have knowledge of fighting. I mean, we must know how to fight. To be leading our people, a ruler must have more strength than any other. They must be the hardest to kill. My people are expecting this of me.
So, it's the toughest person calling the shots, huh? I love it. What could possibly go wrong?
This is how it is meant to be working. But such things do not always go with smoothness. Mercenaries are always seeking strength too, correct?
That's true. A merc lives and dies by the sword. If you're not better than the next opponent you face, they'll be the last one you face.
Yes, dying is without productivity. But it gives me surprise that you do not avoid jobs of danger. A queen must be facing any wolf who comes to her door. But you can have pickiness when selecting fights.
Depends on how much food you can put on the table that week. Most of us mercs barely scrape by hand to mouth. End of the day, it's just business. Some mercs will take the coin and blow town, and some employers are more than happy to hang us all out to dry. I guess you don't have a lot of sellswords in Bridget, huh?
Correct. We do not require the selling of swords. In Bridget, everyone is a hunter. Everyone is a fisher. Everyone is a warrior. There is no need to be hiring, or to be hired.
That sounds incredible. In a place like that, nobody'd have to risk their life just to get a bite to eat.
Your words give me great happiness. I will always be full of pride for Bridget.
Ah, Ferdinand. I hadn't realized you'd returned to the palace.
Yes, here I am. Not that I have official business like you.
Then why come such a long way? Ah, I see. You're here to visit your father.
I am ashamed to say this was my first time seeing him in his cell. My father insisted I stay away for my own safety. Though I must confess, the dungeon was not the horrid place I had imagined it to be. I was envisioning, you know, fiery hot pokers, spikes, that manner of thing.
Oh. Then it may interest you to know that we do actually have such a dungeon. I've only seen it once myself. It's further down from where we're keeping the former Duke. It's a dismal place. One where rats scurry to and fro.
Rats? I do not imagine Father would cope well with that at all. While he did look haggard, it sounds as though his treatment could be far, far worse.
We're doing our best to keep him in good health. The rest will depend on his frame of mind.
Well, you will hear no complaints from me. I care only that he is kept alive and given a fair trial, and that his punishment fits the crime, of course.
You'd better speed things along then, because Hubert is quickly losing patience.
A fact of which I am very well aware. The problem is that I remain unable to connect my father to many of the acts he is accused of.
Perhaps you're wasting your time. A noble as powerful as your father could easily have documents forged and witnesses bought off. Any records that remain will be considered far too dubious to prove guilt or innocence.
Another fact I am very much aware of. In truth, I already found proof some time ago. Proof of his corruption, that is. I discovered it while looking through his tax records. When I realized what he had done, I was ready to serve him up to the authorities myself.
Your own father? I'm surprised to hear you say that.
I mean it. I thought I could carefully build a solid case against him while studying at the academy. However, you had him clapped in irons before I could have my case organized. Now there is a bit of comedy. I idolized my father ever since I was a child. Yet I had to push those feelings aside in order to muster the anger to punish him. Now I find myself trapped between both of those emotions with no resolution in sight.
I see. And tell me, is that the end of your story? I thought you were going to become Prime Minister, keep me in line, surpass me even.
Oh, well, I did not mean...
You can still share words with your father and see him punished for his crimes, you know. So, if you desire resolution, start resolving matters. It's never too late.
Oh, there you are, Hubert. I have been searching everywhere for you.
And to what end? Has Her Majesty summoned me?
Oh, she would never use me for a task like that. I just wanted to thank you, albeit reluctantly.
I do not recall having done anything that would merit such a sincere display of gratitude.
Well, you probably just saw it as part of your normal administrative duties. You fixed quite a big mistake in my last report before Her Majesty had the chance to look at it. I woke up in a panic when I realized what I had done. Imagine how mortified I was to see you'd already corrected everything.
Ah, yes. I may have done something of the sort. As Her Majesty's loyal servant, it is my duty to pare down the number of unnecessary matters which wander across her desk. I must say, I was surprised to see you make such a foolish and obvious error. Have you truly grown so lax, even as you style yourself the greatest of our Emperor's retainers?
I'm aware of the mistake I made, but I would never dream of calling myself something like that. Well, perhaps I said it once or twice in the heat of the moment, but I never actually meant it. If anyone is Her Majesty's best retainer, it's you. And without House Vestra's say-so, I could never become one of her servants.
At present, I very much doubt you are fit to serve as Her Majesty's servant.
Excuse me?
It is true that I did not make a conscious choice to serve Her Majesty at first. Instead, I simply did it because my father decreed it must be so. But such bounds no longer define our relationship. I do not serve the Emperor. My loyalty is to Lady Edelgard, and her alone. I stand with her in a manner that goes beyond the bounds of ruler and servant. Do you understand this?
I want to be like that with Her Majesty as well. But I am only the child of a baron, so I don't have excuses to linger in the palace all the time. I have to return to my family's estate once I've fulfilled my duties for the day, and I get summoned back to our territory often. I am not like you. I cannot just be at her side unless I have a good reason to be there.
Indeed. Locke's territory is in the far west of the Empire. I surmise you have had to spend much of your time away from Enbar. Furthermore, you will be a baron one day. Your duties will prevent you from dedicating yourself solely to Her Majesty.
Exactly. Unlike you, I have an entire territory's worth of people to protect. But I still won't give up. Even from afar. No. Precisely because I'll be afar, there will be things I can do to protect Her Majesty. In fact, always being at her side might actually cause you to overlook threats from time to time. I may even serve Her Majesty in a way you never could.
That is a promising thought, Monica.
Well, if it isn't Yuritsa, what are you doing out here all by your lonesome? Come to think of it, you were always at the training grounds when we were at the Officers' Academy, too.
It was quiet there.
You don't say. Personally, I prefer somewhere I can kick back with a nice drink. Speaking of which, we should get one together sometime. I'm sure Hanneman would spare a moment to join us.
I don't drink.
Too bad. I thought it would be a good chance for us to get to know each other. By the way, I've been wondering, why were you always hiding behind that mask? A waste of a perfectly handsome face, if you ask me. I like you much better this way.
It's not worth discussion.
Oh! From what I've heard, you're probably a good few years younger than me. Yet you're so mature. It's like you have this indescribable air of mystery. I bet there's some burning passion lurking beneath that icy exterior, longing for reprieve. I'm right, aren't I? It's in there somewhere, I just know it. Say, let's grab some drinks tonight and do nothing with them, because you don't like to drink. I know. Why don't we go out dancing instead?
I could not reveal my face.
And then, when the sun rises, we can... Oh, what was that about your face? Why you hide it? Why do you hide it?
Some knew me to be a wanted criminal.
I find that hard to believe. Like they say, there are two sides to every story, right? But what made you want to tell me? A moment ago, you blew me off with that broody, none-of-your-business routine.
You would have kept talking if I didn't.
Oh.
Did I say something strange?
Sorry, I wasn't trying to tease. I just think you're cute when you're flustered. You've become quite the ladies' man. Just you wait. I don't give up that easily.
Huh?
Ahem. On another matter.
Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid, solid.
For the last time, Caspar, food is for eating and not inhaling. Hello? Are you listening to me?
Hey! I can chew and swallow at the same time!
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid, solid.
How did you know I like this? Yes, well, I admire people who show such consideration.
Oh, yes. This is definitely one of the foods I love.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid, solid. Let me ask you something, Hubert. Have you ever told Edelgard that you... Mealtime is when you put food in your mouth, not your foot.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Hey, this is great. I bet anyone would love this stuff.
How did you know this was my favorite? I thank you deeply.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise. Though would it kill you to splurge a little more next time?
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid, solid.
This surprise pleases me. How did you know I would have enjoyment of this?
Really? For me? Thanks.
Come back whenever you're hungry.
Care to make yourself useful?
Counting on you both.
Leave it to me.
Let's get it done.
We all must do our fair share.
On another matter. Only you would ask the Emperor out on an excursion. What, me? Very well. Do you enjoy the sound of the water? I find it tends to bring up bad memories. I thought outings like this were a noble pastime, but I see you're an expert at it as well. Hello. There are hunting grounds near Enbar that the Imperial family uses for outings. Shall we? What are you thinking about? You look as if your mind is a dozen leagues away. Right. Back to work then. You and I both have a mountain of things to do after all.
Actually...
Hmm.
Well... You should invite me out like this more often. So, where are we headed? I've been looking forward to this. Come on! This is the perfect locale for a romantic rendezvous with your special someone. They can't possibly get mad at us for taking a little break every now and again. Oh, hi. Would you cry if something happened to me? I mean, not that anything will, but... I'm curious. Ah, hello. I sometimes wonder if orphans like me would be better off if the Southern Church had been restored sooner. Uh-huh. If you keep staring, I may start to think you have a thing for me. It's nice knowing I can trust you to behave. You get to keep your teeth that way, too. What? Oh, good. Leave it to you. Oh, hi. Oh. No way. No way. It's nice knowing I can trust you to behave. You get to keep your teeth that way, too. Sure, why not? Thank you for that wonderful distraction. Oh, and you'd better ask me out again soon.
Time to work you into shape.
For the...
My put.
And I'll...
Now...
Strength.
I'll be the...
Who?
This power... I imagine...
What?
Hey.
new power.
That felt good. Let's do it again. So I am to train with you, My, will I even survive this encounter?
You don't have to patronize me. I am not the blood-crazed lunatic you are.
A middling performance, but acceptable.
So I'm facing you, Linhardt? Good. I could use some practice against someone taller than me.
Oh, have it your way, but just for a little while.
I think we both enjoyed that.
It's how...
What a...
I'm a...
What?
It's...
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
All is...
Gaze up.
My love...
I doubt that...
With proper training, you'll be unstoppable.
Well, there's a face I'm not used to seeing on the training grounds. Something wrong, Hubert?
I have merely come to examine the equipment. I hear whispers that it is in quite the state. Further, my being here should come as no surprise. Her Majesty and I train in these grounds often.
No kidding. I don't think I've ever seen you two around here.
Naturally. We tend to pick times that allow us to avoid a crowd. In any case, if you do desire a session with either myself or Her Majesty, you only need ask. A mercenary with no backing such as yourself has much to gain by earning Lady Edelgard's favor. Of course, we would not be without benefit. Your rise in standing would paint an ideal picture for our people.
How do you mean?
Many commoners crave progress, a path upward in life, and your example would prove that path exists. The common folk would never expect to see their emperor train alongside someone of your dubious origins. At least not outside the pages of a fairy tale.
Dubious origins? A little harsh, don't you think? Still, doesn't sound too bad if I can use that to help lift people up.
On the other hand, your presence would also cause great turmoil amongst the elites of our society. They may even despise you. A symbol of the ungrateful commoner, granted privilege well beyond their station.
But hey, Dorothea's a commoner too. Why don't they hate her?
Dorothea is a famed former songstress, well esteemed in the upper echelons of society. Your situation is vastly different.
Right. Well, no point worrying about it if it's gonna happen no matter what.
Precisely. Things may yet change in the years ahead, but for now, all we can do is live with it.
So, coddling the elites means the commoners end up oppressed, while hoisting commoners up only agitates the elites. Glad I'm not the one who has to rule the Empire. This whole thing sounds like a total mess.
A mess, indeed.
Yeah, and watch your back out there, okay?
You're loud and clear, boss. Sure glad I got you in my corner.
Now then, just gotta... Oh. What are you hiding back there for, Bernadetta?
Who was that guy you were just talking to?
Oh, who? That? Just a merc buddy of mine, asking if I had any jobs for him.
Oh, he was a mercenary? But he looked like a bandit!
Hey, come on now. You shouldn't assume the guy's a common criminal just because he looks rough around the edges.
But, what about the way he talked? Oh, so scary!
You'd sound like that too if you'd been a merc your whole life. Most of these guys didn't have a mom teaching them how to sound nice and proper like I did.
I see. I guess I don't really know you that well, but... Are all your friends like that? Is that too nosy? That's really nosy, huh?
Well, I mean, not all of them. But now that I think about it, it's kinda impossible to avoid in that line of work. Guess that means you won't be signing up for merc jobs anytime soon, huh?
Obviously not! No way, not happening! Even if I wasn't as shy as I am, I'd never be able to handle all those scary people at once!
That sounds like your anxiety talking. You'd see there's nothing to be afraid of if you just gave them a fair shot. And, hey, isn't basing your opinion of strangers on their appearance just gonna make you feel worse?
Well, what else am I supposed to base my opinion on?
Just spend some time with them. If you ask me, the best place to judge someone's character is either on the battlefield or over the dinner table.
I already told you I can't! Not me! Nope! Please, I need you to understand!
I get it, Bernadetta. I do. But let me ask you this. Is his appearance the only thing that's making you distrust him? There are plenty of guys out there who look just like that but have a heart of solid gold. Nicest folks you'll ever meet. By the same token, there are some real horrible people who cover it up with niceties and honeyed words. The kind of people who prey on others. My point is, judging a book by its cover will only get you in trouble. Trust me, you can't always tell who's good and who's bad from looks alone.
Why are you trying to scare me? Nobody's tricking the iron heart of Bernie. Not today, not ever. Well, probably. Maybe. I'll be fine, I swear.
Monica, why are you just standing there?
I was waiting for you. You were speaking with Her Majesty, yes?
Yep, just going over some strategy. Why? Did you need me for something?
No, not exactly. So, what did Her Majesty say?
Well, she wanted to get my opinion on how best to utilize our mercenaries, since they all use different weapons. We're gonna be fighting some upcoming battles on terrain that'll make it harder to use lances, so we were trying to figure out how to deal with that.
And you didn't speak of anything else?
Well, yeah, but it probably wouldn't interest you. Mercenary stuff, you know?
That's not quite what I meant. There was cake for everyone, was there not? And I'm pretty certain there were fresh flowers throughout the room. Did you not see them?
Oh yeah, that cake was great. Did you want a piece? Flowers, though. I think maybe there were some little white ones.
Ugh, I have no interest in your opinion. I want to know what Her Majesty thought of them.
Why do you want to know so badly? Can't you just ask Edelgard?
You never know if a person is giving you their honest opinion when you spring a question on them. I just want to know what Her Majesty genuinely thought.
Can't help you there, I'm afraid. I wasn't really paying attention.
You were summoned by Her Majesty and granted the honor of giving her counsel. Then, she graciously offered you cake. And you didn't even have the decency to watch her eat it? Honestly, what is wrong with you?
Sorry if I let you down somehow. I don't think I really get what the big deal is, though. Want me to go ask her right now?
No, please don't. If Her Majesty learns I was prying about such things... I do not want to bother her with these trivialities. Forget I said anything.
I see what's going on here. The cake and flowers were your doing, weren't they? That's why you were asking me about how Edelgard reacted.
Yes, okay? Just please, not another word of this.
Alright, I get it. Well, not really, but...
I beg you, forget this ever happened. The situation is far more complicated than you realize.
Hey, Manuela? Huh. She must be out. Did I hear something? Oh, wait. Is she sleeping in one of the patient beds?
Oh, you. So silly.
She's smiling. I wonder what she's dreaming about.
Wait, don't go. So you're just gonna leave?
Uh-oh, now she's scowling. Looks like things are going downhill fast.
Get back here. You'll regret this. You hear me? I'll never forget.
Morning, Manuela.
Oh my. I don't even remember falling asleep. I don't suppose I was talking in my sleep, was I?
You said some stuff like, "Get back here," and "You'll regret this."
Yes. You see, I was trying to stop my dream man from leaving. I had tears streaming down my face and everything. But he just left me there, alone. Just thinking about it makes me furious. How is it that even in my dreams I am hopelessly single? Oh, I need a moment.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry, but could I trouble you for a glass of water? Phew, that is much better. Thank you.
No problem. But, it smells like you've been swimming in booze. Are you hungover?
might be. Is that a problem?
Well, I don't think the infirmary is supposed to look like a bear charged through here. That seems like a problem to me.
Back off, will you? You're the one who trounced in here unannounced and eavesdropped on my private, if humiliating, sleep-talking. And now you're attacking me for a tiny hangover in a messy room? Who do you think you are? My husband?
What? No, but as your friend and comrade, I can't not say anything.
I know, you're right. I'm sorry. I tend to fly off the handle when I'm embarrassed. Hey, can I ask you for one teensy favor?
Let me guess, you want help getting this place cleaned up, right? I suppose I could lend you a hand.
No, not that. Would you be a dear and pretend like you didn't see any of this?
Ah, gotcha. Don't worry. I won't say a word.
You're a class act. Thank you. Well, I don't want everyone to think worse of me than they already do. I mean, honestly, where did it all go wrong? Did you know I was once a diva with the Mittelfranc Opera Company? But now, apparently I'm just a shadow of my former self. Can you believe how rude that is? Why would you kick a girl when she's down?
What? But I didn't...
How about this? In lieu of hush money for our little secret, perhaps I'll let you hear me sing next time. I'll show you that this diva's just as dazzling as ever. Now you have something to look forward to. Anyway, did you need something?
Huh? Oh, yeah. I'm sure I had a reason to come in here, but now I don't have the slightest idea what.
Is something wrong, Ferdinand? You're staring quite intently at those plants while you water them.
I was merely reflecting on something I saw long ago in Enbar.
Oh? What would that be?
In truth, it is nothing noteworthy. Back when I was a child, I saw a water nymph dancing and singing in a fountain along the main street. She was radiant, brilliant in the dewy light of the sun. But as an immature young lad, I grew embarrassed and ran away.
Wait a minute. That sounds familiar.
And you're sure of what you saw? A water nymph?
Absolutely. Her song resonated within me. It was a bucolic tune sung by common folk around the capital. As I recall, she had not been wearing so much as a scrap of clothing. Anyway, once I finally mustered up the courage to return, the nymph had vanished.
Such a tale hardly seems possible.
What? That's the reason Ferdy ran away that day? No way. I've been wrong about him this whole time? I mean, considering how I must have looked in that fountain... Oh no. I can't even begin to face him right now. I have to go back.
Is that Dorothea? I wonder what she's doing over there.
He's seen me. All right, Dorothea, just be calm. It's fine. It's all fine. Everything's fine. Why, if it isn't Ferdy and 80, what a coincidence to bump into the two of you here.
Dorothea, your face is red.
Yes, indeed it is. Do you have a fever?
Really? I feel fine, but... Well, I was just coming to check on things, but since it all checks out, I'll be going. Bye!
Wait, you could suddenly take a turn for the worse. So, I will escort you back.
No, I'm fine. I'm not going far.
Yet still too far to travel alone. If something were to happen to you, it would already be too late. Come now, take my arm. Or if it please you, I could carry you there.
Enough! I am perfectly fine, so just mind your own business and stay away from me.
No one appreciates obstinance, Ferdinand.
Apologies. Although, given the intensity of her rebuff, I worry she may not have liked me to begin with. Have I committed some grave wrong against her? What should I do?
This war is getting more brutal with each passing day. If I don't learn to adapt, I'll never survive. Maybe if I work on my bow skills, I can get good enough to fight from a safe distance. I wonder if Petra would teach me. I mean, she doesn't hate me, so that must mean we sort of get along.
You are needing my help, Bernadetta?
Ah! Petra! Were you there this whole time?
For enough time. I am also thinking we are getting along.
You do? Aw, Petra! But I mean, I actually could use your help. I want to get better with the bows, so I was thinking maybe you could give me some intensive training? But I mean, you really don't have to. It's fine.
Of course! It would give me delight. But there is one concern I am having.
Oh, it's the fact that I'm horribly untalented, isn't it?
No, you are not without talent. I have seen you being very light upon your feet. But it is only when you are feeling threatened. So, for you to have the greatest improvement, I must be giving you fear when I am training you.
Okay. But maybe you could be threatening in a non-threatening way?
That could be done, but then you would not be having improvement. Terror is what you are needing for this.
I don't think I like the sound of that.
Then we must be forgetting this idea. I do not want your heart to be giving out.
Hey, come on! I'm not completely afraid of applying myself, you know?
If we are doing this intensive training, you will have to be facing the trial of wind. I am thinking you lack the readiness you need.
The trial of wind? You know what? Do your worst. My heart can take whatever you dish out and chew it into little tiny pieces.
Very well. Once we have our beginning, I will not relent. I hope you have offered your prayers today.
On second thought, maybe we should discuss this just a little more before we... Gotta save me! Petra, enough! Cease! Your arrows are just one big blur!
Now it is time for seriousness. 100 arrows from behind.
I thought we were already serious! Is this the afterlife? Am I dead?
You have done it, Bernadetta! You are the survivor of Bridget's fearsome trial by wind.
What does that even mean?
This training is meant to be testing our resolve, just as the spirits do. Warriors of Bridget who are surviving the trial receive the blessings of the wind spirits. You have passed. Now the spirits will be with you always, and guiding your arrows.
I passed? Yes! You go, Bernie! But actually, I'm just happy to get your approval here. It feels nice.
It is the approval of the wind spirits, not mine. But I am sharing in your happiness all the same.
Which battle do you wish to reflect on? I'll continue gathering records of your battles.
Hey there. Need something? See you around.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Well, well. Hello, you. Come back soon, all right?
I carry a little of everything here. Hope to see you again soon.
Well, well. Hello, you. Come back soon, all right? Welcome. That all for today? Come back soon. Well, well. Hello, you. We have some truly capable people. We have some truly capable. Come back soon, all right?
I carry a little of everything here. Hope to see you again soon.
Greetings. Welcome.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Hey there. Need something? Is this it? 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 See you around.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Hey there. Need something? Is this it?
Is this it? See you around.
Welcome. That all for today? Come back soon. Well, how'd it go? Any result's a good result.
I carry a little of everything here. Hope to see you again soon.